Hello and welcome everyone, this is Dmitry. We are having another network programmability stream. Today we are going to take a first look at GitHub Actions, which is CI/CD engine from GitHub. Very curious about that. And what we are going to do, I have one of my open source projects, which is, the code is on GitHub, but the CI is running on GitLab. So I'm thinking about moving it to GitHub as well. So before that, couple of things to discuss. So first of all, you can probably hear that my voice is slightly different. It's because I've got cold, so I'm so sorry for that. If I may sneeze and cough and stuff like that, but and also because of that, I don't feel that I'm 100%, so probably we will end the stream earlier than usual, so probably not 3 hours like I usually do, but I'm targeting 2 hours today. Alright, now another thing is that I was uploading the stream recording on my previous stream about Golang and Python and using Golang for network automation, and unfortunately I had to take it private. I will need to re-upload it, and hopefully it will be done tomorrow. So I'm sorry for that inconvenience. Also, if you are watching this as a recording, I do my best putting the timecode below in the description, so you can jump into different sections of the video, if you don't care about some of the stuff. Another thing, Cisco Live Europe is approaching, so it will be again in Barcelona at the end of January. If you are there, please find me, let's have a chat. I will be very happy to talk to you offline. And last thing is, we are having stream marathon, and I am super excited about that. The stream marathon will start on 23rd of December. I think it's Monday, so we'll start on Monday. And we will have a stream every day at the same time. It's going to be 6 p.m. my time, or 6:30 sometimes, but probably 6 p.m. every day. And I will be streaming on whatever I want. I do have a project for at least the first week. So the project is going to be, I will be building a very big, enormous lab in GNS3. So my target is 1,000 devices, and then use Ansible, Nornir, Python Async.io, and Golang to do the same thing and test their performance. So this is what I want to do. Probably this will take a week, and I will be streaming every day. So if you don't have anything to do during the holiday break, please do join my stream. I will be very happy to have you. I'm planning to start the marathon on Monday, but most likely we'll still have our stream on Sunday before that. My plan is to cover serverless with Azure, but I'm still not 100% sure. By the way, if you have any ideas, something that you would like covered on the stream, please do let me know. And if I find it interesting as well, I will put it on my schedule and on my calendar, and I will do it. All right. Enough with chit chat. Let's get into today's topic. And just give me 1 second here. I am. Vikas002, thank you so much for following. Question in the chat, very cool. Will you try Granular as well? I don't know. Maybe. I heard from someone that it doesn't give you a lot, but I should probably check it out. Like I'm not sure if I will do it during marathon or not. So we'll see. Very possible though. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, here is my GitHub project. So this is a Python library called Simple Smartsheet, and Smartsheet is a cloud service for Excel spreadsheets, basically. And one very good thing about Smartsheet is they have very extensive API, very well documented, and probably one of the best API documentations I have seen. And like you can do whatever with their API, like, you know, copy sheets, add columns, rows, whatever. So very cool. And I wrote a Python library for that. So this library is living on GitHub. However, and you know what, let me make it slightly bigger. Like this. However, and yep. So, however, you can see there is file called .gitlab CI YAML, and if I take a look at it, well, first of all, this file is run by GitLab CI. Okay, so if I go to my GitLab account, it sees this file and it runs tests here. Let me actually see if I will be able to show it to you. Yeah, so here, for example, there was a pull request merged 3 months ago, and when I click on it, you can see that it runs 2 stages, test and publish. So if I go to test, it does things. It does things, and it runs all tests, and at the end it was job succeeded. So we went to another stage, which was publish, and publish does publish it to the PyAPI. So when the new version is released. So ideally what I want to do is to have this in GitHub. This is what I want to do. And there is right now a new tab here called Actions. The problem though is like I have never tested it. I don't know how it works at all. So this is what we are going to do today. Now before doing that though, I need to set up my environment a little bit. I was thinking like where do I want to develop this, and I was thinking maybe virtual machine again, and then I was kind of like, meh, I don't want to. So then I decided, okay, I will do it on my Windows machine directly. Right before the stream, I realized that there were some things which will make it problematic, especially environmental variables. But I guess whatever. So if I go here to my terminal, and this is Windows terminal, I have the project cloned. And the problem though is that I don't have Poetry installed. So I have here Python installed. So I have Python. I have pyenv installed to install Python. So if I say pyenv versions, you can see that there is 368 and 374 installed, and it's selected here, which is cool. So I still need Poetry. So I will need to go ahead and install Poetry now. Because I want to be able to run my Python tests anyway. Actually, I'm curious if this will work. I don't think... Oh, it may? Oh, it actually does. Cool. By the way, the Poetry released version 1.0, and there were a bunch of changes and quality of life changes as well. Very cool, very cool. Okay, to get started, you need Poetry bins directory in your path environment variable. Future applications will automatically have the current environment, but you may need to restore to your current shell. Alright, let's restart my current shell. Okay, so it's projects and then what? Simple Smartsheet. And then Poetry. What terminal app do you use on your Windows machine? I'm using... So first of all, I have tested probably every single one of those. I am not happy with any of them, but the closest that at least I can stand is this one, Conemu. The rest was just horrible. I have here HyperX, but I just don't like it at all. So, and Git doesn't work even here. I don't know why. Whatever. Conemu works fine for me. I actually don't know how I have here Git integration. I really don't. But whatever. Okay, so Poetry seems to be working. Let me think. What do I need? Oh, first I need to do a thing. Poetry documentation. Hold on. No. Where is this? Let's actually check this. Which Windows had iTerm? I 200% agree with you. I want iTerm. Actually, very interesting that I think when I had a stream in August, one of the topics I was discussing was migrating from Mac to Windows. And I was talking about my problems with Mac and some stuff like that, but even despite all of the Mac problems, I'm still so much used to the tooling that you get, stuff like iTerm, stuff like Alfred, and at the same time you have this all Unix stuff Bash, C shell, whatever. And then on Windows, it seems they are going in that direction with how it's called, WSL, right? Windows Subsystem for Linux, but it's still not there. Even with WSL 2, it requires Hyper-V, and if you enable Hyper-V, you can't run Docker and you can't run VMware, which just blows my mind. I really don't know. I need to use VMware for the stuff I'm doing. I want to use Docker, so that's not even an option for me. And Docker doesn't suck on macOS. Yeah, I agree with you. All right. So I needed a cached here. Create new one doesn't already exist. Create virtual environment inside of the project root directory. Yeah, I need this one. And how do you do this? Poetry config option and then value. So what did I do? Oh no! I just closed my window. Oh no. Okay, do it one more time. By the way, I also was looking for a font on Windows for a really long time. Like, I hated all of them. But this one, I like. This one is called Hack, by the way. I really love it. Okay, let's do it one more time. So, and I need to be careful not to press Ctrl W to delete the word. Okay, so it's poetry config and an option, and then value. So virtual ends in project, and default is 1, default to false, and I need 2. Okay, this is weird. Black dependency specifies the allows pre-releases property, which is deprecated. Use allow pre-releases instead. I don't even know where is it coming from. So that's pain in the ass. So, okay. So now that I have poetry, I should be able to say poetry install, I think. Yeah, I think this should be fine. Okay, so there is some deprecation, and it seems it's referring to my PyProject YAML file. Which is this? Oh yeah, I need allow pre-releases now. But I'm not going to change it because because it's interesting that it says to me that I have evaluation copy when I actually have a license for it. That's so weird. I didn't even notice this message at the bottom right of the screen before. I will need to check it out later. Okay, so how is our poetry? Okay, we are still installing stuff. Meanwhile, I think we could check GitHub documentation. Marketplace. Choose a workflow to build, test, deploy the code. You know what? Before I will refer to this, let me check what is going on in the project itself. So, like in the GitLab CI. Okay, so I'm using the base Docker image, which has the poetry installed, and okay, so I'm using a base Docker image which I built. Oops. So I don't have any Docker file here. So this image that I have here is public image which I built. And then inside of the Docker image, we run poetry install, and then we run our tests. And then I'm using tag Docker. I don't run tests on master, and then publish. Okay. Choose a workflow to build tests, deploy a code, make code reviews, branch management, issue, triaging work the way you want. Automate every step in your process. Greets users who are first-time contributors to the repo. So it seems like much more than CI itself. I tend to click here, but I feel like that's not what I want. Let's see. Oh, I don't even need a text editor, which is nice. Okay, so name CI on push jobs build runs on Ubuntu latest. Okay, this one seems like a Docker image, but I will need to test it. Okay, this one I don't understand. And then in run you have your things. Okay, documentation. Okay, let me see the chat. You can use the same pattern in GitHub Actions. Run what you want in containers. Runs on host virtual machine. It's weird syntax for Docker image, shouldn't be Ubuntu latest. And then there is a link. Let me check that out. I'm thinking how I can. Well, I think I can open my Twitch here as well. Disable sound. Oh, and I don't get link, of course. Should I be able to do it here? Oh yeah, perfect. Okay. Workflow syntax for GitHub Actions. Okay, workflow is configurable process, blah blah blah. You must create a YAML file. Of course. Syntax. You know what? Let's do the following. Let me take this example that they have, this one, and we will go line by line in docs and like understand what this means, what all of this. So we can start doing our changes. Okay. Okay, first of all, you must store this in .github workflows directory of your repo. Okay, limits. 20 workflows concurrently per repo, 1K API request in hour across all actions within a repository. Each job in a workflow can run. Yeah, I don't need any of that. My project is not too big. Okay, name of your workflow. GitHub displays the name of your workflows on a repository action page. If your emit name, GitHub sets it to the workflow file path relative to the root of repo. It displays the name of your workflows on your repository actions page. Okay, so I guess in our case it would be, and let's also do this following. Let me, I have a file here. Let me think. Okay, yeah, this should work. So if I do this, we will copy this thing and start modifying it the way we need it, right? So right now I am not 100% sure if I should put stuff in different files. So like to be test and publish? Question mark? So okay, on push, I may need to modify that. And then jobs. Okay, and let's also take a look at events. You can provide a single event, array, event types, blah blah blah, whatever. Web hooks, create, delete event, fork, golem. What the frick is golem? Issue comment event, issues event, member, milestone, project, public event, pull request event, pull request event. Oh, okay. So I may need this. So on pull well, hold on. You know what? Let me document it's also here. So what do I need? So I need to run tests on every push except on the except of master, and I need to run tests plus publish on release. This is what I need. You can use one file, it's okay, thank you. Okay. The reason I want to exclude master here is that if I'm doing a release, right, and I'm doing releases on, you know, I'm tagging commits on master here, it will like run tests anyway, and I shouldn't, well, I don't think I can push to master directly. I think I have that set up as protected. So because if I do this, for example, you do push, right? You open pull request, my tests will run there. And then if I merge that pull request, they will run again. And to be honest, it feels like a waste, right? Like I do push pull request, right? We run test, then I merge them, and then they will rerun again. And then when I will release that release, they will like run again. So it makes sense for me to do it on pull request and on release, but not whenever my master changes. So I will keep that in mind. For now, we will not worry about that too much. So pull request event. So I may need this, right? Let's also document this. So events, interesting events. The default workflow only runs when the pull request activity type is opened, synchronized, or reopened. To trigger workflows for more activity types, use types. Pull request reviewed. Holy shit, that's a lot of interesting stuff. Okay, push. The webhook payload available to GitHub Actions doesn't include added, removed, and modified attributes in the commit object. You can retrieve the full commit. Commit pushed unless deleting a branch when it's a default branch. Okay, I think for now we'll keep push. Let me also put it here, right? Push and also release, right? The release is not triggered on draft releases. Okay, this is fine. So this is pretty much all I want, and I guess I will need to do push on everything except of master. This is where I run tests, and then test plus publish on release. Okay, I think we are fine here with on, right? For now, we will just leave push. Example using multiple events with activity types or configuration. Examples using multiple events with activity types or configuration. Oops. Is there exclude? Thing. The reason. We'll have to, do this later. Okay, so I guess it's like, I don't know how to do it, do exception here. Exception, by the way. No. Except. No. Okay. Let's keep going forward. Oh, excluding branches and tags. You can use two types of filter to prevent a workflow from running on pushes and pull requests to tags and branches. Branches ignore. You cannot use both though. Okay. I guess it should be like this. And you can also use negative patterns. Okay. That seems like they have really flexible features here. Okay, here is what we need. Jobs. Workload run is made up of one or more jobs. Jobs run in parallel by default. Jobs run in parallel by default. To run jobs sequentially, you can define dependencies on other jobs using needs. Okay, so I guess I will actually have to do two separate workflows here, right? Because I will need to run tests. Well, on releases, I will need to do tests and releases, but then on everything else, I need to run tests. I'm not yet sure how to express all that, to be honest, but in the system that I use. To run jobs sequentially, you can define dependencies on the other jobs using a needs keyword. Okay, I may need this for my publish as well. Each job runs in an environment specified on runs on. You can run unlimited number of jobs as long as you're within workflow usage limits. Yeah, blah blah blah, whatever. Okay. Each job must have an ID associated with the job. The key job ID is a string, and its value you must replace with a string. You need the job objects. Okay, how about GitHub Actions? Use job from another workflow. Will this work? What you can't. Nice, okay. What you can do is use the same workflow file and use conditions to trigger a not specific job. Oh, okay, that's kind of smart. Okay, I need to save this example, to be honest. Jobs deploy if GitHub event. Yeah. Nice, of course, YAML files. I have flashbacks to Ansible, to be honest. With like a bunch of event statements and all of that stuff in YAML. Another thing that I'm kind of curious, is there an extension already? Let me check this. I wouldn't be surprised. Wow, there is many stuff. I did not know about this. This is pretty cool. I can install it, but I will not play with it right now. Okay, so it seems like I start to like understand something, but I still need to do run on. Let me actually check runs on first. The type of machine to run the job on. The machine can be either GitHub hosted runner, or self-hosted runner. So by the way, there was a question in the chat before at the beginning of the stream. If like you can run it with like your infrastructure, right? And it seems you can if you have like self-hosted runner. Okay, if you use GitHub hosted runner, each job runs in a fresh instance of virtual environment specified by runs on. Okay, I can run on Ubuntu latest here, but doesn't seem to be Docker. Actions and run Docker containers have static directories under GitHub paths. However, we strongly recommend using default environmental variables to construct file paths for your containers. I don't understand. Okay, I may need some help from the chat here. You can use one for Docker already installed on host VMs. Docker already installed on host VMs. Right, but I can't run like How would I run my tests inside Docker then? I don't understand. So I would like what in job specify that. So let's say this is Ubuntu latest, right? And then I would start doing like this: Docker run my image, whatever. You can use containers like this, jobs linked container. Oh, ouch. Why I didn't find it here? Okay, steps, uses. No. Strongly recommends the clean version of the action you're using. SHA, Docker tank, blah, whatever. Select an action to run as part of the step in your job. An action is a reusable unit of code. You can use an action defined in the same repository as a workflow, public repository, or published Docker container image. This is my case. Strongly recommended to include version of the action you're using. Some actions require inputs that you must set with this keyword. No, I don't think. Yeah, I may need to test your example. Hold on. Okay, yeah. Container to run any steps in a job that don't already specify container. If you have steps that use both script and container actions will run as sibling. Container actions will run as a sibling containers on the same network with the same volume mounts. Okay, if you do not set up container, all steps will run directly on the host specified by, unless a step refers to an action configured to run in container. My job container image. When you only specify container image, you can omit image keyword. Okay, we will set up it like this, right? So step and uses it's right under the job, right? So I have test here. And then this one is going to be my image. Okay, now I think steps right now will be things in my container image, right? So now I can just take all of this. God damn. How do I set up this before script though? Let's think. Artifact. No. Sharing. Share. You can use volume to share data between services. Or other steps in the job. You can specify name Docker volumes, anonymous Docker volumes, or pin mounts on the host. Okay. Let's try googling this. So GitHub Actions, sharing between jobs. Okay, I don't think this will work, right? So my idea was that I run. Where is this? So I run this step, right? For both, well, before running this and before running this. But that, how about this? GitHub action alternative to before script. Yeah, guys and girls, of course, I don't think I know how to deal with this. I guess I will need to put this tab in both jobs, right? I just don't know. And I also don't really understand this uses actions checkout. What the frick is this? Okay, got it. Okay, so if I do this, it will auto clone my repo, and if I don't, then it will not. Now I don't need to clone my repo because of course I actually need to, right? So this image has nothing to do with my project. So I actually need it. So here in CI, here, before I do installation, but GitLab automatically mounts my code there. And I guess GitHub doesn't, right? So I actually need this checkout thing. Checkout v2. This action checks out your repo under GitHub workspaces so your workflow can access it. By default, the repositories that triggered the workflow is checked out for the ref SHA that triggered the event. Okay, so actually, I actually need it. And if I repeat actually 5 more times in a sentence, it makes even more sense. Okay, so I need this step. And then I am running tests, right? You have to pay for using GitHub CI/CD on private repos. I believe so, yeah. Let me double check. Not here. Free. Total concurrent jobs 20. Actually, I may be incorrect. Because they don't mention here in usage limits anything, right? About like public or private. GitHub Actions, private repo. Okay, here we go. GitHub Actions usage is free for public repos. For private repos, each GitHub account receives a certain amount of free minutes of storage, depending on the product used with the account. And we check billing. Okay, so you can actually use it for private repos a little bit. I must say that's pretty decent. And even though like I don't understand this 100% yet, it feels like they have a lot of interesting things here, some of which are not available in GitLab. Maybe I'm wrong, but at least this is my perception so far. So I think what I need to do here is this, right? I need to copy all of this pretty much, right? Okay, is this correct, guys, or I am wrong? So then another one would be publish, right? And then publish needs. How do I specify needs again? You can use GitHub registry for your Python container. I probably don't want to. I have like automatic job to rebuild my base containers, base public containers on GitLab, and I'm happy with that. So, and also, let me make sure that my jobs are named the same way. What pipelines? Pipelines, fast, test, and publish. Okay. So I think I need to do pretty much the same thing, right? So I do this test container. Now, and then here you do this. Now, and I also need if statement, I guess. Am I right, or am I like... Ideally, I would want to share this step. This is what I want. And then I also need to say if GitHub event name called release, and then here I say push and release, and then here I can say if and like this, I guess, right? So we will run tests if the event was push. Actually, no, we can do this, right? Actually, so I want to run tests when every time we have a push, but not to master. Oh, okay. So I have to say this. If the event is release or it's going to be pushed, but it must not be master, right? So if this, we will use this container, we will do checkout, and then we will run tests. We will publish, we will need tests for publish. We will do publish only on event name release. Probably I need to do it like this. Runs on Ubuntu latest, container is the same. We'll check it out, and then we will publish, right? Publish to API. And then we will run these two commands. Yeah, the only thing that I'm bothered with is this, right? because on GitLab I was able to do before script, and here I really can't, or at least like I don't know how. Now another thing which is super important is of course secrets, because I do use a key to the sandbox here. Okay. Public actions may specify expected environmental variables in the README file. If you're setting a secret in an environmental variable, you must set secrets using the secrets context. For more information, use this. Doesn't run on an image contradicts each other. I mean, for me it does, but it seems like what they have. So if I say here container, actually, yeah, I don't see here an example. Is run on. I do think, so it seems like this is default. I do think it's a little bit confusing. But whatever. Okay, we need to set up secrets, right? Secrets, add new secret. Let me check what this should be the secret name. And I will use incorrect key right now. You know, just to like understand like how I see it, and then later we'll edit it correctly. Okay, secrets are encrypted and only exposed to selected actions. Secrets are not passed to workflows that are triggered by a pull request from a fork. This is super smart, because this is not the case in GitLab. So this is super freaking smart. Secrets are not passed to workflows that are triggered by pull requests from a fork of this repository. Imagine the following thing. You have some kind of token, right? And someone does a fork, makes some changes, pushes the code and creates pull request, right? Then your CI will run on that pull request, and if that in those tests you were using that token, you may expose this token there. But this, what they're saying here is that GitHub, if you fork and you open a pull request, GitHub will not give you an access to that secret, right? So that's smart, because GitLab doesn't do that, and I actually had to put some additional safeguards in GitLab CI specifically for that. The reason why is that my tests, they run on the, they kind of like, I don't have a lot of unit tests, to be fair. Like I have some, but not everything. I mostly have integration tests here. So they actually go to the sandbox portal, these like sandbox credentials, and you know, create sheets, copy sheets, and all of that stuff. So I'm actually using a token for my tests. Yeah, so that's more. Okay, so I guess where it was. Okay, so I pretty much do this, right? And I hope it will set it in the in the container. Is AI the future? Depends what exactly you mean by that. I do believe that you'll see a lot of interesting use cases with AI. And I do believe that we have to be careful with how AI is developed, but it's just another technology from my perspective. Okay, so where do I put, is this part of the job or it's shared between jobs? Should be steps. Okay, a map of environmental variables that are available to all jobs and steps in the workflow. You can also set environmental variables that are only available to a job or a step. Okay, so yeah, it seems like I can put env anywhere. Now let me think, what access do I need? So for tests, I need access to the token. So env, right, and then like this, and I think it was was it the list? I think it was the list. No, it's actually not the list. Okay, so and this will be what, Smartsheet API token. Smartsheet. Oh, okay. Smartsheet API token. Right. So this is here, and then here I need access to PyAPI username. PyAPI username, right? And then this is going to be the same thing. PyAPI username, and then PyAPI password. By the way, I think this PyAPI can use keys now. PyAPI API key. I saw some info for that. Here all a scope API tokens for package upload on PyAPI. It is in beta and it's a meta issue, blah blah blah. We are tracking, blah blah, this great idea. I'm closing this issue. Staging, testing, rollout. Okay, let me do this. I will first test, like, you know, I don't want to do any leak of credentials or something. I will test it here on my laptop, like to see what is the interface for this. You know, again, just to make sure that I don't leak an API key. I really don't want to end up in that situation. What? Okay, I'm good. Hold on. Create a token. Amazing. To set up simple Smartsheet author links, classify and other details. Use setup arguments in your setup UI file. I think this will not change. Additionally, you must use Twine. You must use Twine. Really? I don't see any tool supporting this yet in their docs. So that's freaking weird. To use this API token, set your username to Dunder token. Set password to the token value, including PyAPI prefix. If you're using Twine, okay, got it. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so this changes things. This actually is very good because this feature was not available for a really long time. So I will need PyAPI token, and this is also going to be incorrect token. I will change it later. And then, so here I don't need this anymore. I need PyAPI token, and then here we say like this, and here we say PyAPI token, and here is also token. Whew. Okay. Let me see the chat while I was busy with this. What are you making? I am testing GitLab GitHub continuous integration. Okay, guys, I think we are there. Let me try thinking through this logic. So I will run tests if it's a release, right? And or it's push, right? But not master branch. Because this test will rerun multiple times on master. Like when I accept pull request, they will rerun. We run on Ubuntu latest. We use my image. By the way, let's actually go ahead and check that out. I think they should do this every 3 days. Yep, every 3 days. Okay, so I'm using this image. I'm setting up environmental variable here from secrets. Then I do checkout, and then I'm running tests where I install the package. I run things, and then the next one is publish. I will do publish only if it's a release. We will depend on the test job. We will run on Ubuntu latest, the same container image. We use this environmental token, and we again check out, and then we publish. Before we publish though, we have to install the package. Do I actually have to install it? That's actually a very interesting question. Do I have to install the project when I want to build it? And I actually don't think so. I can leave it like this. Okay. Oops, and I lost my AirPod. So I think this should be enough. So now I can delete this. Let's do run tests and publish. And publish. Publish YB. Or you know what? Maybe I should just name it main or something, because I don't always publish to API, right? So let's just name it. Let's just delete name altogether. Like, I don't see how name is good for this example. It's okay. So I think I'm good here. Well, so what we are going to do, I have this main file, right? I'm copying it here. I don't want to do it on master though. I don't want to do it on master. What is Poetry? Poetry is Python dependency management tool. It can help you a lot if you're, well, first of all, I'm using it for every single Python project, regardless if it's application or a library. It's a way for you to install dependencies with the always correct versions. For example, right, if you like do pip install like Normia, right, it will always try to install the latest version. But then if something happened in Normia and the newest version had some changes, right, then your code for your application will break. So what Poetry does, it allows you to pin those dependencies and update them the way you want. But you still keep this list of like, let me actually show you. Where's my PyProject DOMO? I'm just thinking, hold on. I want to make sure that I don't show any API keys or stuff like that, because that would be very bad. So this is my Poetry PyProject DOMO file. So this information, this is what goes to PyAPI, like tags, like home page, blah blah blah, author, version, whatever. Now here you specify your Python dependencies, and you can see that I have they're very loose. The reason why I have them loose, so that people installing my library, like, they don't have to worry too much about matching dependencies. I also have depth dependencies as well, where, you know, like flake, black, whatever, all these things. So what Poetry does, it will generate for me what is called Poetry log file. It's actually not like npm, it's more like yarn. Because I think npm also has these features right now, but like yarn is much more robust. And I think yarn had these features earlier. So Poetry will generate this log file for you, these exact versions, so you can consistently, you know, whenever you install, it will always install these versions. There is also a way, like, obviously these are hard pinned, right? So this will always be kind of like static. You can say like Poetry update or something, and it will re-update the versions in the log file to like latest possible. One big part of this is resolver. So whenever you specify these dependencies, right, every one of these dependencies has its own dependencies, which may have constraints, like request has, like, it must have URL lib 1.2.4 or something, whatever, right? So you end up with a lot of like dependencies which may have constraints which are not compatible with each other, or have like put upper or lower constraints on like intersection between them. So part of the resolver, whenever it sees this, to be able to find the latest possible versions which satisfy all of the conditions. So with Poetry updated, you can update the log file here. Now another interesting piece of the Poetry is that it also allows you to upload your libraries to PyAPI as well. So I don't need any other tooling beside this. I don't use requirements.txt, I don't use setup a py file, I don't use any of that. I just have this file, log file generated for me automatically, and then using Poetry I can change dependencies, I can publish my package to PyAPI if I want to, stuff like that. So to be honest, like if you are writing any Python project, I would strongly recommend check out Poetry. I do think it's amazing. I've been using it for 1.5 years so far in production as well, and it has been working really well for me. Okay, so let's get this done. We are very close. We are very close, but there is one thing that I really don't want to do. I believe this will push to master. Oh, okay. Commit directly to master branch, create a new branch for this commit, and start pull request. Add GitHub Actions. Yes, and then create a new branch for this commit. GitHub Actions for hosting file. Well, I don't think. Oh, it runs. It's running. All right. All right. Okay, let's see. Moment of truth. Okay, we were able to pull the image. That's already a good sign. Yeah, well, first we are installing the project using Poetry. Stuff is going. This is good. This is good. Now another thing, so first of all, the test should fail because I provided incorrect token, just so you know. So that, like, if it fails there, it's expected. Black not found. What? Okay. This is somehow broken, but I'm not sure why. Oh! Let me think. I may need to go to my base Docker images and check something. Yeah, it could be a past problem. Let me think. So Python, slim stretch. So what do I do here? Python version, pass, poetry is added to the bin, run apt-get install, libyaml dev, curl, git whatever, install poetry, we create venv, we say in project true, and then we update pip and setup UI. So actually I create virtual environment in the app, in /app/venv. I have suspicion that actions checkout puts it like in different place. So let me think. So first, you can see run poetry have been installed. This worked, right? But our working directory is incorrect, right? It's not /app/ yeah, let me check all of this. Okay, we downloaded the image. Cool. Some stuff, whatever. Okay, this one. What does this do? So inside of the Docker container, we check what is this, right? We check version of Git, and then we extract the simple smart sheet. And then this ends up in GitHub home. By poetry virtualens. Oh wow. Okay, so it finds poetry in the pass. But then this should not happen at all because we already create the virtual environment here. I created here. So my like working directory is freaking broken here. So yeah, we'll have to check out actions. Repository name is the owner. This action checks out your repository under GitHub Workspace so your workflow can access it. By default, the repository that triggered the workflow is checked out. For the ref SHA that triggered the event. Scripts authentic. The git commands, usage, persist credentials, some stuff. Okay, I believe I just have to change this one, yeah. let me check this. What? File systems on GitHub hosted runners. Execute show specific directories on the virtual machine. The file paths on the virtual machine are not static. Use environmental variables GitHub provides to construct file paths for the home workspace for cloud directories. Anthony, thank you so much for following. Contains user-related data, workspace action shell commands execute in this directory. An action can modify the content of this directory which subsequent actions can access. Actions that run in Docker containers have static directories under the GitHub path. However, we strongly recommend using default environmental variables to construct file paths in Docker containers. GitHub reserves is /GitHub. God damn, this is not cool. GitHub Actions must be run by default Docker user root. Your Docker file doesn't set user instruction, otherwise you will not be able to access GitHub workspace. Whatever. I still haven't found like how do I change this, right? Maybe if I just put it in env, it will work. But I am not so sure about that. I honestly not sure. So I think it. Where is my pull request though? Yeah, and I want to do a change here, right? So main YAML, and then we edit it here. So if I do it like this, right? GitHub actually, no, I think it's correct, right? And here I say this value cannot be null. Just let me modify this. And this should be /app/app, I think. Change GitHub workspace in actions, and then we commit directly there. Okay, let's run. Let's see this running again. I'm not sure this will work, to be fair, but okay, this works. This doesn't work. What the hell? WTF is going on here? And even got an email that my run failed. Okay, chat, I need your help. How do we change this GitHub workspace in Docker container? Should I set it up directly under secrets? To be honest, folks, I think I need to approach it from a different way. Like, the workspace. Someone recommended action use normal text file system. And then GitHub sets for actions to use in all environment. And I can't set it. So what I did, oh, so many tabs. So I did the following. Where is this? I added here GitHub workspace, but yeah, this doesn't work. Okay, I think, yeah, it doesn't seem like I can even change this. Like, it just uses that, and like, because, and I have found in the docs, where is this, that I can't change this. I am already lost the tab. GitHub reserves GitHub environmental variable prefix for internal use by the GitHub. GitHub workspace directory path. The workspace directory contains a subdirectory with a copy of your repository. If your workflow uses the actions action out. If you don't use actions checkout action, the directory will be empty. Okay, I have two ways to solve this, and I'm not sure which one I should do. I think like two ideas at least. So first of all, don't use actions checkout in the first place. Like, I can git clone on my own, I guess. Can I? I should be able to with providing a ref. I should be able to. Second way is to do all of that from the checkout dir. What does paths do, by the way? Relative paths under GitHub workspace to place the repo. I think I could try this. I mean, this looks ugly anyway, right? .vnpin. Oh, bullshit. So I may change this. Yeah, guys, let's change it. God damn. So this will put I want to check documentation again here. Then it checks here under GitHub repository. By default, the repository is checked out. I guess I'm thinking if I will end up inside of the repo or not. Let me check here. One thing. GitHub home cache by poetry orbital aims. Right, let's try this. So you'll change this. Oops, this is not what I wanted. You'll edit it here, right? So all of these will be poetry run. I think I can actually say like this. Poetry install, poetry run, pytest, blah blah blah, Python, whatever. This may work. Okay, so change pass for actions checkout to work with actions checkout. Okay. Attempt number 3. Blah, thank you so much for joining. Have an easy working week. Kopura Pahka, thank you so much for following. Do you think this is a run? This is a run where it all works? I don't think. Yeah, I don't think this is the one, but we'll see. It works! It works! It works! Even when it fails, it still worked. Look at this. Look at this. HTTP response code 401. Your access token is invalid. Yeah. Hell yeah. Seems like we succeeded here. That's amazing. Okay. So let me do this next thing. I will have to go ahead here. Secrets. API token. API token. Oh, it doesn't allow me to change it. Wow. Okay. So let's do this. Add new secret. So we will say smart sheet IP token. Let me switch my screen. Hold on. So give me a minute. I will. Yeah, I will put my API key here. Actually, I'm kinda moron here. I mean, I could just keep my screen and just do it on my laptop, and I'm doing an idiotic thing. Hold on. Yeah. So what I was doing right now, I was looking at my laptop on the left, and I was manually typing the secret, and I realized, like, what the freak I am doing when I can just open on my laptop GitHub and add the secrets there and be happy and just be happy. So yeah, this is what I'm doing right now. Though, right, I think it should be good. Okay, cool. So I think we are ready. I think we are ready to run actions. Okay, how can I rerun this? Give me options to rerun. Rerun. Let's go. Let's go. What would be fail if the token will be displayed here? That will not be fun. That will be absolutely disgusting. And then I will have to go revoke the token. But I hope this will not happen. By the way, while it's running, there is one feature really missing in GitLab CI, which is super helpful for library developers. It's called matrix. So I don't think they added it, even though a lot of people requested it. So what matrix allows you to do is like define a set of things, which, you know, usually like some versions number or something, and then like it will like rerun that on your, yeah, this one, this issue, like something like this. So you can rerun, let's say, your library build on different versions. We do it for Nornir. We have, I think we are running tests on 3.6 and 3.7 using Travis. Yeah, so I think if this succeeds, I will try migrating to GitHub Actions. This still didn't work. What the hell? Come on. What? Why is it didn't work though? Oh, I was looking the incorrect app. Look at this, running test green check mark, huh? Green check mark. This is the only thing that DevOps guy wants to see, green check marks. Look at this. All my tests succeeded. Okay, this is definition of success, guys. I think I am ready to merge this. We haven't tested release, but like I don't really want to like test it because I don't have any release right now, and it may complain. So let me like review it like with my eyes, because I will test it when I will have a new release. So let's look at this. So this one works, right? And we are saying that we will run tests either on push if it's not to master, or when it's release, regardless of the ref. This succeeded on the push at least, right? And publish says we will do it only on the release. We will need to run tests before. We will use the same container image. We will use the token that I put. and we'll check that out and publish to API, and we'll publish it by using this command if this works. This looks good to me. Okay, so I think I'm ready to merge this. We will do one more change. Hold on. We will remove GitLab CI file. We don't need it anymore, I think. So this is weird, by the way, right? Because we succeeded. Change path to work. Oh, it's CI fails, pipeline fails. So let's delete this file. We will say delete GitLab CI file. Remove GitLab CI. And we will just push it directly. We'll have to disable it in the GitLab again as well. Match it. CI/CD. How do I disable it? I honestly don't know how do I disable this. Because I set up a mirror here, but that's not it. I mean, I could obviously delete it, but probably it's not the best move, just deleting. GitLab CI stop DevOps for mirrored project. It's not what I want. Project visibility will also affect pipeline visibility. If set to private, only project member can access pipelines. I don't think I have set it to private, because GitHub will not be able to see it. Well, at least I can do it right now. So visibility, yeah, it's public. It's on. Test deploy. Yeah, let me do it like this. Set it to private for now. And what is going on here? Green check mark. Okay, so we can now open let's do migrate to GitHub Actions from GitLab CI. Create pull requests. Okay, this is actually weird because we don't run it on the pull request, it seems, right? Okay, let me think if this even makes sense. Because my problem is that I'm using private key, right? So people opening pull requests will have their test not run because they could potentially access the sandbox key for the API. Is this the behavior that I want? It's kind of like mixed, right? I like want it and don't want it at the same time. Yeah. I need to write more unit tests instead of integration tests, even though they at least provide some kind of contract to the user that this functionality works with a real server. But then people who are opening pull requests from the forks will not be able to work with those. Yeah, I need more. I need more. I think I have an idea how to do that, but it will require a bunch of changes. I'm not ready to do it yet. So, okay, we'll leave it like this. We run tests on the commit because it was not through the fork. Let me merge. Do I want to squash? Yeah, I want to squash and merge, right? I want to squash. And yeah. And then squash and merge. Workflow file GitLab CI.GitLab CI demo. This is merged, but then I don't run actions. Actions will not run again, right? Not only that, but it says red one. Excuse you. Life of DevOps is hard. Looking at all of this red access is not fun. I really don't understand though why it says to me that it's red on master. Well, first of all, it should not have triggered on master. I am pretty sure that it should not have run. Yeah, I understand that, but I do have a rule here which should prohibit that. So if you look on the where is this file? If you look on code, this one main YAML file, you can see that I run this if it's not release or if it's push but not on master. So if this is not on master, it should not run. This is some kind of you can see that this is just parked out, right? I also can't rerun it. It's like just says to me like there is nothing to run and I will just fail. Let's check this. GitHub actions fails when no jobs are provided. This one, right? In the past, if all jobs in the workflow were skipped, the workflow will display skip no status with a gray icon, but now it displays as failed. I had reported this issue, began to investigate this. We don't have any other ways to skip the jobs. However, as a workaround, you can add the job to always run in the workflow. You don't need to add any usable steps in this job, just to execute a line of script that doesn't make sense. This situation when all other jobs are skipped with if condition, the workflow will not be failed status. Always run job. Wow. You guys. Wow. Okay. No, I am not doing that. So, but I will change the slide. I will just run it on everything. Will it actually allow me to change in master? Let's see. I will let me do this. You have too many tabs. I like how they say it's solved, but this is not solved. This is a bug which should be fixed. Commit directly to the master branch. Living on the edge here. Okay. If this is green check mark, then we succeeded. If not, then that's not cool. I need to think of like how do I allow people submitting PRs to run tests, because if you do a fork of this repo and you open PR, then your test will fail because you don't have a token for sandbox. But if I allow you to do that, then I will leak my token to you, right? Essentially, so this is neither of this is a good option, to be honest. So the only decent option is to have, besides my integration tests, which use credentials, to have correct unit tests, which can provide some degree of confidence. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't think about that. Okay. By the way, since we are like approaching the end of the stream, you can see there are these two tests which says test prod py and they are skipped. Yes, means skipped. So the idea here was I have several like smart sheets in production which are like really complex. Okay, they're just complex. They have a lot of data and use like some of the weird features of the smart sheet. And like I wanted to make sure that I can work with those sheets. So what I added was here. So if I go to test and test prod, so there are some sheets IDs and it uses the smart sheet API token production. This one is only available on my work laptop and that's it. So I don't put it in GitHub or anywhere else. And then I run a set of tests which are marked which use fixture called skip fixture. And then, so what it does is checks if I put this ---- prod in the call. So like when I run poetry run pytest, if I use this flag, right, then it will run production tests. If not, then we skip those tests, right? And then this fixture applies on every test in this file, right? So this fixture says a module after use true. So it will be run for the whole module. We check this prod. If we have it, then we'll run these tests. If not, we'll skip those tests. So I can run these tests only from my local work laptop. And whenever I run like general CI, they're just skipped. Okay, green check mark. So if I go to code, right, and then latest commit here, you can see that GitHub workflows main test succeeded. Probably I still should add a name like main or like default. I don't know. I don't want to name it test and publish because then it will be confusing when I run only test. How about what if we separate those, right? So GitHub Actions dependent workflows. Once a YAML workflow contains jobs for building, testing, deploying. It would be great if jobs could be factored out in standalone file as parameterized templates. Yes, this is possible. Let me take a look at this. Master branch, whenever your CI workflow has run successfully, you can create a secondary workflow that only triggers when the pull request is merged, because by then you already know the test succeeded. This is interesting, but yeah, I like really have to sit down and think this through, like what should be the workflow. So I think I could do something like this, but then on release I need to be very careful if I'm doing this on release. Let me check the release documentation. Because this one strictly depends on the it strictly depends on these events. If these events are fine, like, and very granular, then yes. Otherwise it may not be possible. What another thing would be, like, why am I even running tests when I release, right? Like, I don't know. Like, if I run tests whenever on like every commit, right? Then why do I test additionally on the release? Where is this? I can't find it. I don't know. I have to think this through. Okay, let's wrap up. I think we did good. We have our migration. The next step for me would be to do the same thing for Nornir, because we are using Travis. I mean, if we can contain everything in GitHub, then why not do it, right? All right. So, summary. It was a little bit harder to get started with GitHub Actions, a little bit harder than I thought it would be, but also still not, it's not super complex. It's like, you just have to spend some time working on it. You can't just, do it in 5 minutes the first time you see it, I think. But it's not super complex. What I am amazed about GitHub Actions is there are very big number of events here, and they are very granular compared to GitLab. Like, on every single thing that is happening in your GitHub repo, issue opened, issue comment, pull request reviewed, pull request merged, pull request opened. So many events, so this opens a lot of possibility for automation. So this one looks amazing to me. The next is obviously that, well, de facto I don't want to say all, right, but majority of open source projects live on GitHub in the first place. So having CI directly there, like, I don't have to go to GitLab or anything. Even though, like, I love GitLab. GitLab is my favorite thing, I guess, in this, like, Git CI space, if you will. But here you have everything integrated, right? You just have another tab with actions. You can change the file directly here and, like, look what is going to happen, all of that stuff. So that's pretty nice. There are some changes in syntax, and it seems like there are some things. For example, if I look on this GitLab CI, right, I was using this before script to run between multiple jobs. I didn't find how I would replicate this step here. Yeah, that's it. So Another interesting piece is GitHub supports matrices. GitHub Actions support matrices, while GitLab does not. And matrices are very useful when you want to run on like Cartesian product of versions or something. So for example, if you want to test your library on Python 3.6, 3.7, 3.8, right? Majority of stuff is going to be the same, but you need to like pull a little bit different container, right? Or like with a version tag or something, right? In GitLab, it's really hard to do. Like, I was actually able to do it in one place, but it was not good. Another interesting piece is that this reusability, where people can put like their actions somewhere on the repo, right? And you can use those actions directly. It's like reusable pieces of workflow which you can use. I haven't seen anything like this in GitLab as well. Like these reusable pieces which are taken from like some public repo or something, right? This is also very cool. So here's my summary. At this point in time, and again, I'm sorry I'm not an expert on this. I can just express my opinion based on the impression that I have. But at this point in time, I would say that GitHub Actions is better than GitLab CI. Even though they were so late to the game, like they were like, GitLab was always miles ahead of GitHub. And they had CI for a really long time. But this release with Actions, from my perspective, is amazing. And it's so easy to just, add CI to your repos now. You can do it for public repo for free. For private repos, there is some limit, but you can still use some of it for free. So why not use it? So I would say it's Dmitry approved. If that means anything, probably not really, but I am very much impressed by Actions. There are still many things that I don't know, but overall, I think it's cool. I will be now working on migrating Nornir to GitHub Actions. Yeah, that's my summary. So, if you still have any questions, I will be for a couple of minutes more. Please put them in the chat. Some reminders is that we will have next stream next Sunday. Most likely it's going to be about serverless with Azure. But if you have any better ideas and anything about network automation, net DevOps programming is really a fair game. So please do let me know via Twitter, for example. On the Monday, December 23rd, we'll have stream marathon where I'll be streaming every day, probably for a shorter time, like 1.5 hours. So if you're interested in that, please join that as well. And that's it for me. For today. Sorry, not for me. That's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. And I hope you have an easy working week. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.